In the fast-moving world of live television, professionalism often hides personal storms. Cameras switch on, lights glow bright, and millions of viewers see calm faces delivering the morning news. But sometimes, even the most composed personalities find themselves connected to stories far more personal than anyone expected. For years, Savannah Guthrie has been known for her steady voice and balanced reporting style on Today. Viewers recognize her as someone who asks tough questions while remaining thoughtful and composed. But recently, online discussions and emerging reports suggest that Guthrie may be emotionally affected by a developing missing mother case that has taken an unexpected turn. The case itself is filled with unanswered questions. A mother disappears without warning. A timeline begins to shift. Small details start to surface. And then an unexpected connection appears that pulls public attention toward one of America's most recognizable journalists. Is this simply a professional overlap between news and personal emotion? Or is there a deeper layer that explains why this case has suddenly become so intense? As new developments unfold, the story is no longer just about a disappearance. It has become a narrative about media pressure, human emotion, and the unpredictable ways real-life tragedies intersect with public figures. To understand why this situation has drawn so much attention, it's important to look at Savannah Guthrie's career and public image. Before becoming one of the leading faces of American morning television, Guthrie built a strong foundation in journalism and law. She worked as a legal analyst and political correspondent, gradually earning a reputation for clarity and professionalism. When she joined NBC, her career entered a new phase, one that placed her in front of millions of viewers each morning. Over time, audiences became familiar not only with her reporting style but also with her personality. She often spoke about family life, motherhood, and balancing personal responsibilities with the demanding schedule of live television. This relatability became one of the reasons viewers trusted her. Because of this public image, stories involving families, especially those centered on children or missing parents, have always carried emotional weight during broadcasts. According to sources and media observers, the missing mother case began receiving wider national attention after local reports described unusual circumstances surrounding the disappearance. The case reportedly involved a woman who vanished under unclear conditions, leaving behind family members searching for answers. At first, the story followed a familiar pattern: local coverage, community searches, social media awareness campaigns. But as investigators continued gathering information, the timeline reportedly became more complex. Certain details were revisited, statements were analyzed, and gradually, the story started reaching national media platforms. This is where Savannah Guthrie entered the narrative, not as a subject of the investigation, but as a journalist covering a story that seemed to carry strong emotional undertones. The missing mother case reportedly began on what seemed like a normal day. According to initial reports, the woman was last seen near her residential area. There were no immediate signs of forced entry or clear evidence pointing toward what might have happened. Family members described the situation as completely unexpected. Local authorities began standard search procedures. Volunteers joined community efforts. Social media posts spread quickly, with thousands sharing the missing person alerts. During the early days, coverage remained limited to regional outlets. However, as days passed without confirmed sightings, concern grew. Reports suggest investigators began reviewing surveillance footage and digital activity. Some online discussions claim that certain timeline gaps started drawing attention, though officials have not publicly confirmed specific details. As the case expanded into national awareness, major news platforms began discussing it, including segments addressing missing persons investigations and the challenges involved in solving them. During one broadcast discussion, viewers noticed a subtle emotional shift in tone when Savannah Guthrie introduced the topic. While professional, as always, some audiences felt the story seemed personally impactful. Online commentary quickly followed. Clips circulated across social media platforms. Viewers speculated about whether Guthrie felt a personal connection to the emotional nature of the case, particularly because the story centered around motherhood. It is important to note that no official reports indicate any direct personal involvement. However, media analysis often amplifies moments that appear emotionally charged, especially when they involve well-known public figures. Then came what many online discussions referred to as the new twist. According to sources, investigators reportedly revisited earlier assumptions about the timeline. This included reviewing statements and reconstructing events leading up to the disappearance. While no confirmed breakthrough has been publicly announced, updates suggested that the investigation had entered a more complex phase. As coverage intensified, so did public curiosity. Viewers began paying closer attention to every segment discussing the case. Each new update sparked further speculation not only about the investigation itself, but also about how media personalities handle emotionally sensitive stories while remaining objective. For journalists like Savannah Guthrie, this balance is part of the profession, but it is also one of its greatest challenges. Whenever a missing person case receives national attention, multiple interpretations begin circulating. This case has been no different. Online discussions have raised several theories, though none have been confirmed by authorities. Some discussions focus on investigative timelines, while others explore the psychological impact such cases have on families and communities. Another layer of conversation has centered on media responsibility. When journalists report on emotionally intense stories, they often walk a delicate line between compassion and objectivity. Reports suggest that viewers sometimes interpret emotional tone shifts as personal involvement, even when none exists. Media experts frequently note that this reaction is common when audiences feel connected to a broadcaster's personality. In Savannah Guthrie's case, her openness about family life may contribute to this perception. Viewers who relate to her as a parent naturally sense emotional weight when stories involve missing mothers or children. There is also discussion about how modern media environments amplify small moments. Short video clips, facial expressions, and voice tone are often analyzed frame by frame on social media. In many situations, these interpretations become larger than the original broadcast context. According to media analysts, this pattern has become increasingly common in the digital era. Meanwhile, the investigation itself continues. Authorities have not publicly confirmed any final conclusions, and sources emphasize that cases like this often take time. Evidence must be carefully reviewed, statements must be verified, and public speculation can sometimes complicate the process. For now, the facts remain limited, but public attention continues to grow.